Banks lend your money, Wall Street gambles it, and the IRS taxes it over and over again. But this is the way that it's supposed to be. This is the way the system is set up. There's a way to flip the script. I'm going to show you how infinite banking can turn you from the player to the house, because either they're going to control your money or you are. This strategy has helped change my clients' lives forever, and I'm going to show you how to do the same. This is how the banks, Wall Street, and the IRS all collude together to rig the system. And a lot of this I learned from this book right here, The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin. In 1913, the Federal Reserve was created, and the bankers and the politicians met together to be able to create a system where the bankers would make money on interest and the government would make money on taxes, and they can make money together forever, taxing everything and charging interest on everything. And this is how the system works. The IRS is the security guard for the government to make sure that nobody's skimming on their taxes. Wall Street is the gamblers that takes the bankers and takes all that money and just throws it in the air and figure out what happens. And we take all the risk as Americans. We take all the risk as people, as the normal modern day citizens. And so as we continue giving our money to the banks, they're lending it out. We continue giving our money to Wall Street, and whatever happens, happens. They charge fees on it, and the market goes up, down, left, right, or sideways. We have no control. And we keep spending money that's taxed every single time. We get taxed on federal income tax, state income tax, local income tax, sales tax, estate tax, capital gains tax. There are so many different types of taxes. And so when you understand the system, you can learn how to lower your taxes and understand the system so you can actually flip the script and take control over your money again. The reason that all of this works is because you continue to stay dependent. We live in a society that's dependent on the government, dependent on Wall Street, dependent on the banks, and people don't realize the problem that exists in society. It is so important that we take control over this situation. They need your money to be deposited into the bank so they can lend it, and then they can charge interest on it, and then the prices of everything can go up, and they can print more money, and they can tweak interest rates up or down whatever way they want, and then you can pay for all of it because you pay taxes on everything that you buy and everything that you make. And then when you retire, you pay taxes on everything that you put into your retirement account and all the growth for the last 60 years or 50 years that you were working. And this is the system. And this isn't a conspiracy. These are the facts. And it's important that you get the facts right and you understand the game, because very few people are teaching the truth, and you want to understand the truth because the truth shall set you free. Wait. If you want to hear the truth, then be sure to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on, because all we deliver is the truth all day long. So how do the wealthy break free of this? Well, they practice privatized banking. And there's different forms of privatized banking, but the one that I like to focus on is infinite banking using whole life insurance. The Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, the Waltons, Walt Disney, Ray Kroc, J.C. Penney, all famous families that have utilized dynasty trusts to create generational wealth for themselves and their families with whole life insurance as the basis. The reason that they do this is because they can take lump sums of cash, otherwise known as windfalls of cash, and put them into a cash value life insurance policy and then use that money as leverage. They can leverage against their assets, and cash value in a life insurance policy is one of those assets. They also do this with real estate. They do this with their businesses. And then they have so much money that they have great relationships with the bankers, and they're able to get interest rates lower for themselves at private rates so that they can trade money, they can exchange money at a lower rate than everybody else and take advantage of what's going on with the market. And you know the famous quote, the best time to buy is when there's blood in the streets? Well, right now you see a ton of wealthy families are selling stocks, selling their assets so they can sit on some cash, and when the market crashes or when we have uncertain times or we go through a recession, which happens 1 out of every 14 years and more so in the recent 40 years, then they have an opportunity to sit on some cash or borrow against their assets and go buy more assets at a discount. And this is what privatized banking is all about. In one word, it's called leverage. And the best place to leverage is in a whole life policy that's been around for over 200 years, that has never gone down no matter what in the Great Depression, Great Recession, all over, and that you have complete control over to create generational wealth for you, your family, and your future generations. So let me boil it all down for you and show you how infinite banking works very simply. And just to be clear, infinite banking is not a product. It is a process, and a whole life insurance policy is a product of which the foundation is built on. So the first step is to get a whole life insurance policy that's properly structured by an infinite banking practitioner. Step 2 is to put cash into that policy. Step 3 is you're going to borrow cash from the life insurance company with your cash value as collateral. And step 4, invest it in an appreciating cash flowing asset. You don't have to invest it in an appreciating cash flowing asset, but that's what allows you to do number 5, which is get returns from that asset and be able to take those returns and put it back into the policy. You're going to pay back the policy loan, pay back the life insurance company, and receive money back in the form of dividends and interest so that you control this whole process. All of this is about control. It is about controlling your money and not giving up your power as you work so hard and then give all of your power away to the banks, the IRS, Wall Street, and the financial institutions so you can free up this money and have complete financial freedom. Why is this a complete system and not just a product? This is a banking system. It is not something you buy and you never talk to me again. It is an actual process and a lifestyle to how you live your life and manage your money. And that's because when you put the cash into the life insurance policy, it's going to grow dividends and interest every single year, whether you use it or not. And when you borrow against it, you're going to be able to grow an asset over here, like a real estate portfolio, a property, a business, something. You're going to get returns over here, and you're going to get returns in your policy, and you're going to be able to grow 2 trees from 1 seed, all tax-free. No market volatility, no worries, no taxes, no giving up your power, no credit check, no financial documentations. It's all private banking. And this is how privatized banking really works. And so you can take full, complete control and autonomy over your money from this point forward. Real life case study, myself. This year I've used my policy for many things, but 2 totally different things I'd like to point out. One is the office. Put money down, about $72,000 to get our new office. That's a cash flowing, appreciating asset. We'll be able to go and scale from $1 million to $10 million in revenue in this office, and that's going to create about $3 million in net profit for our company, and that is a cash flowing, appreciating asset that I'll use to fund back to the premiums. The other side is a car. So instead of having to go buy a car in cash, or go pay a finance company or lease a car, God forbid, we financed our car ourselves. And so we borrowed against the cash value of our life insurance policy to go buy a car because we needed another car due to the office. And so instead of borrowing from the Mercedes finance company, we're going to borrow from the Waxman finance company. Instead of paying Mercedes back, we're paying Waxman back. We're paying the life insurance company and overpaying so we can take that overage and put it back into our cash value and grow our money even more to keep doing this over and over again. No bank fees, no worrying about underwriting, no having to get approved, no giving up control. All the control is in our hands, and we created all of this from our cash value life insurance policy. It is so important to realize that real wealth is built by controlling your assets and liquidity at the same time. So it's time to pick a side. Do you want to stay trapped in a system designed to bleed you dry, or own the system and build a private wealth engine? If you would like to learn more about how to build your own privatized banking system, click the link in the description below and we will build one for you together. Stop playing your game and start building yours.